This video is going to contain some Wings of Fire spoilers. I try to keep them to a minimum, but just a heads up. I love a good dragon story, specifically the kinds where dragons are treated as characters and not monsters, and so I guess it was inevitable that eventually I would run into Wings of Fire. I was pretty late to the game, only discovering Wings of Fire about 2 years ago. At the time, I hesitated on even picking it up, mainly because of the low recommended reading age, but eventually I figured, hey, I'll just try the first book, and see if I keep going after that. You want to know what one of the biggest things was that convinced me to start reading this series though? It was when I saw the negative reviews for some of the later books complaining about gay dragons. Let me tell you, nothing could have gotten me interested faster than those reviews. Now I was fully on board with getting started, and little did I realize that reading Wings of Fire would be one of the few things I would do in my free time over the next month. Despite being generally recommended for a younger audience, I think Wings of Fire falls into the best kinds of kids series, the ones that can be enjoyed by just about anyone. The series has enough respect for its audience to delve into some topics like abuse, manipulation, torture, trauma, and plenty of others, while still aiming for an overall message of peace and cooperation among the tribes. The writing is kept simple enough that anyone can follow it, but the focus on these topics gives the series enough of an impact to keep it interesting. It's got its share of funny moments, like Tsunami sending the wrong signals in Aquatic, or Murder Basket. God, I love that one. But the books also have plenty of memorable and genuinely heartbreaking scenes, like Jerboa's backstory, or the Darkstalker book, the whole thing pretty much. And these are the things that I really think made the series worth reading. Those scenes wouldn't mean anything without the characters though, and there are some pretty lovable ones here. Blue and Cricket are two of my favorites actually. I liked most of Arc 3, but on my second reading, books 11 and 12 especially stood out. I love the setting of the hives and the story of the silkwings, even if the ending of the arc was rather disappointing. I'm also a pretty big fan of Glory, Starflight, Turtle, Keebly, Snowfall and Lynx, Sundew and Willow, and I could keep going. In general, not only are the dragon designs cool, I mean just look at the cover art, but the characters are fun and likable, especially when they go through some sort of major changes over the course of their book. You always like to see some character development. It's not perfect, of course. I think some of the characters were underused or underdeveloped. The romances can be done way too fast, characters falling in love immediately after they meet. And there are other story problems, like animus magic having probably about 1,000 different plot holes. Really, it is one of the most broken magic systems I think I've ever seen. There are enough various things that I probably would have changed to fill a video of their own, but in terms of overall entertainment, I just could not put this series down. I would spend most, if not all of my free time after work reading whatever book I was on, and then moving straight over to the next. At some point I stopped ordering the individual books on Kindle and just bought every single one, cause I knew I was gonna keep going by then. And as it turns out, having these books around couldn't have happened in a better place or at a better time. When I started reading Wings of Fire, it was right at around the same time when I was just beginning a new job, and as it turns out, I wasn't exactly prepared for that job. It was really rough every day, and there were probably at least 100 different times where I just thought about getting up and quitting. But then I'd come home and get lost in Wings of Fire again. And you know, this silly little dragon series ended up being exactly what I needed. It genuinely kept me going throughout this awful period, and now I think I'm gonna always associate Wings of Fire with this because of it. I'm still working at the same job actually, and the store happens to sell a few Wings of Fire books. Sometimes I update their quantities in the system when I go over there, just to make sure everything is accurate. I don't even work in that department, but I do it anyways. Hey, no one's gonna complain. I'm getting something done. Even more than that, when I was in the hospital last year with collapsed lung number 4, I needed something to do that didn't require any energy, and so I ended up renting a few of the audiobooks for Wings of Fire, even though this was shortly after I had just finished them. Whoever was reading sounded like they were having a lot of fun voicing the characters for those. It was a good distraction for a while. All of this is the reason why, despite any issues the series might have, Wings of Fire is pretty special to me. It was there in just the right place, at the right time. It's got dragons. It's got gay dragons. It's got some heartfelt messages and great characters. And overall, it's just a really entertaining story to get lost in. I've heard talk that there is a 4th arc in the works, so hopefully it's a good one when it comes out. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens regardless. But no matter what, I gotta thank Wings of Fire.